Hello, everyone. I don't know if I told you all this, but and I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I've recently begun training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I have been attending I attended for about classes for very recently. I've wanted to do it for a very long time, but have been unable to for reasons that I will discuss maybe another time. But anyway, I am planning to continue. It is wonderful, and I have been to 3 gyms thus far. Well, I've trained at 3 gyms. I've been to several, and they're all unique experiences. Every last one of them. Like the start was at a certified training center under Huron and Henry Gracie. They have the whole Gracie Combatives, women's empowerment, and all that good stuff. I really like Gracie Combatives. I think it should be a part of any self-defense system, reality-based self-defense system. Excuse my cough, I've got some post-nasal drip going on. But anyway, it is, I learned, it was like something like 26 moves that were the most used in the Gracie Challenge matches, and UFC and street fights and all that crap. And it's pretty good because, it is great self-defense. Most fights end on the ground. That's just reality. And, sorry about picking my nose, but I got an itch in there. Anyway, I rolled for the first time tonight, and, it was quite an interesting experience, and, I went in there knowing what to expect. I knew I was going to get tapped left and right, and, that I could not have been more correct. I got absolutely tapped left and right, and it's just, I went in there humbly, and if I hadn't gone in there humbly, I would have been humbled, because most of the guys there were my size or bigger, but I was submitted by a girl. I admit it. I got beat by a girl. That's right, you heard me say it. I got beat by a girl. And you know what? The way I looked at it is, I didn't, half a lifetime ago I would have been utterly humiliated. Or hell, less than a decade ago I would have been utterly humiliated. But, it's something that I knew to expect, and, because I had been watching so many videos on Jujitsu. And when I rolled, this was my 3rd Jiu-Jitsu class, I felt like, completely lost. I didn't know what to do. But these guys would often take me aside, would often show me what to do after they lost to me, like how I could have won. This one guy was a wrestler for a number of years, and he was by far the roughest of the bunch. And it's like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu means gentle way. Wrestling is, well, wrestling. Jiu-Jitsu means gentle way in Japanese, by the way. Anywho, yeah, it was a good experience, and when that girl almost choked me out, I was like, and I heard myself doing it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Am I being choked out? And she released me. It's like, yeah, you were being. It's like, well, I thought you were about to go unconscious. It's like, maybe I was. It's like, yeah, you were. Yeah, you were about to be choked out. So that's how I learned what it feels like to be choked out. I wasn't choked out completely unconscious. And anyway, it's like, I'm like, well, you beat me. I laughed. But anyway, it was a good bunch of guys, and sadly I may not be able to train there due to the immense distance. It's a long drive. But, it's like, you know, it's an experience I will never forget. And it is an experience I will cherish. Anyhow, I just decided to do this video from a beginner's perspective because I'm not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt or even an amateur, let alone a professional MMA fighter. I wish I was all of those things, but I'm not. But I realize that there's an opportunity here. It's like there's a lot of videos by guys who are really, really experienced in Jiu-Jitsu. I decided to make a video about a guy who was just starting out and to kind of document my journey from the very start. And, you know, Carlos Gracie said that there is no losing in Jiu-Jitsu. You either win or you learn. And, well, I certainly didn't win, but I learned a lot tonight. One of the first things I learned was do not let your belly, abdomen, or stomach touch the mat or the ground. It makes you so vulnerable. Your goal should be to avoid letting your belly button touch that mat. Your front torso must never, ever touch the mat. I also learned when falling, don't ever plant your hands on the ground. Learn how to break fall. As my instructor said, well, he wasn't technically the instructor. He was substituting for the instructor. He was a blue belt. He said that break falling is one of the most important, yet most neglected things in all of martial arts. Because people come to Jiu-Jitsu to learn all these cool submissions and takedowns and all that shit, but break falling, how to break a fall, is extremely important. And, a lot of people underestimate it. I know I did. Anyway, that wrestler, by the way, showed me how to do a double leg takedown, and I'm thankful for him for that. As well, if a guy is a former wrestler, he's probably going to be the roughest guy in the gym, and I learned that tonight. And, but anyway, it's like, what advice would I give somebody who's about to go into Jiu-Jitsu? Go in with an open mind and be very humble. Because your ego is probably the hardest enemy you will ever have to overcome. Because it will take a pounding. So if it's not there, if you just go in humble and not assuming you know everything or that you know something when you don't go in there thinking just go in there, just say to yourself, I'm walking into a new world and I don't know shit. That's what I told myself. I don't know shit. And I don't remember who said this, but a black belt is a white belt that has been tapped, 10,000 or more times. And that's basically it. I got tapped about, I don't know, maybe 20 times. So that means I got 9,980 to go before I get to black belt. And, in any case, I'm just making this video to try and educate people. If you do Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, or whatever, or other types of martial arts, feel free to reach out to me in the comment section below. And be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because this may be my first video on my martial arts experience, but it most certainly will not be my last. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And be good, y'all.